Hello everyone, this is Jordan, and since it's the beginning of the new week, it's time for us to go back and see what happened during the previous week when it comes to divergence based trades, guys. Dorian, we were looking for buys. We said that we have a lot of bullish momentum when it comes to Dorian because we want to see the price going versus, first of all, the trend line. Second of all, we have the inner parts of this range. So after it bounced lower, we want to be looking at buy opportunities. And this is exactly what we got. Multi-phase ABCD pattern. We're looking for the buys. As you can see, the price where this entry was executed is right here somewhere where the marked line is. And that's a very good supportive zone. So basically what we got here was push on the lower time frames. Even though we had divergence against, on the lower time frames we're expecting pullbacks. We got the pullback, and that pullback was delivered precisely with whatever we were looking for. So this is why the trade was executed. And what else can we mention about this setup besides the two waves down? The fact that we first of all got the first divergence right here. This is the first false break as well, and then this divergence was extended to something bigger, going and checking lower levels, and basically this is where the attack happened. So we managed to catch the profits almost immediately. Euro Aussie is something where we look to go ahead and buy. Now, first of all, what we can go ahead and see is, of course, the levels. We came to pretty ideal zone in terms of this triple bottom. Price tried to test it multiple times, and now we're back to this level once again. However, we're getting divergence number 1, we're getting divergence number 2, we're getting false breaks. And here we had one more false break, if you consider this a consolidation inside of it. If not, it's just one. But that's the idea. Okay, and then we have the big cycle coming from the top. Now this could be read as double wave, or it could be, for some people, read as something like this. 3 waves to the downside. And it doesn't really matter which way you're going to read it, because the bottom line is the cycle is completed, a level is in place, we're looking to buy. Okay, very neat trade. Almost immediately gave us the spike up afterwards. This is the 1 hour chart. It couldn't close it, and then it managed to close it right there. Then we go to the negative trades. EuroCAD is the first one. And for EuroCAD, this is where we stand. Now, after the bounce off of this level, we never managed to reach the top. Then we got this impulsive move on the inside, followed by 2 waves down and continuation higher, which meant for us, the way we see it, from that point on, we're looking, not reading, looking for buys. And this is where we got the hidden divergence. It came close to this zone here. This is more or less the middle of the entire thing, but in here you will be able to see all these intraday levels, especially this one, very strong zone. And when we draw the line, this is exactly where we get. Of course, we are getting the bullish candlestick pattern on H4 as well, and this is where the attack started. Unfortunately, as we saw in the result, that was and it completed, not was, completed with a loss here. Okay, the next one is pound Kiwi, and as you can see, this is where after EuroCAD, of course, we started the losing streak. This is where we got the entry. Let me zoom in a bit. And as you can see, the idea here was very simple. First of all, delta pattern on this last push. That means we have a lot of bullish pressure. and that's the breakout zone. That breakout zone is the place, the maximum place where we want to see the price moving lower, correcting itself, and then continuing. The idea of this entry here based on the divergences was very simple. ABCD pattern, we got the false breaks here, continuing divergence turning into hidden divergence turning into continuing divergence, and with this kind of pattern right here we are attacking for the buys. That's the result with the immediate push lower. Next one was euro dollar, and this is the 1 hour chart. As you can see, guys, after the bullish pressure to the upside, we said we are looking for buys, and very similar idea to the pound Kiwi. That was the first attempt where we got the ABCD. You can see the level here that was tested. Amazing supportive zone, bounce, and we're looking for the buys. That was also the place next to the trend line, so looking for almost immediate continuation upwards, just like we had on all the previous instances here where the price was correcting itself in a bit smaller ranges and then continuing higher. So almost immediate push on the next candle, and that was another losing trade. Then we go to euro dollar on the very next day, and we continue following the same idea. Okay, that's the previous zone, and this is where we get the false breaks once again. You can see how many times we get the divergences starting from that zone, which in other words means one thing: once the divergence starts forming, of course we have predefined direction before that, we know we are looking for buys, but once you start seeing the divergences, in this case continuing in regular divergences coming one after each other, that means one thing: the pressure is very strong, the bullish pressure, I mean, right? So this is where the second attempt followed, and even though the price started fluctuating afterwards to the downside once again, we managed to collect here the target, because as we said, the pressure was building up for such a long time that the previous trend, the main trend, is still holding the buyers in check, and that means it's much easier to catch these buys and profits when the trend is there. Next, let's just cover, we have two more so we can cover the more Aussie dollar. Another buy attempt here. We said that we're looking for buys after the breakouts and after this bullish wave. This is where we got this kind of divergence right here. Okay, and as we can see, we are testing the previous zone. So basically this is the breakout zone, and this is where the price managed to stop on the way up and create a supportive level for later on. Well, supportive once the price started moving lower, right? So that was the first attempt to go lower below that level, pull back, one more push lower, and this is where the divergence was completed and we started the attack. This one also pushed immediately, almost immediately to the downside, realizing the loss. And last one, Kiwi, which was this bullish hidden divergence attempt for us. Basically the idea is simple: we're looking at double wave and we're looking at these zones. Basically we tested somewhere in the middle of the zone, but we never got to the very top of it. So once we got the hidden divergence coming after no divergences before that, we know that we're expecting this thing to continue higher. So that's the zone. All right here, as we said, ABCD pattern, bullish hidden divergence, and attacks started at this place right here. You can see the risk reward ratio was absolutely amazing. So if this trade gets filled and we reach the targets near the top of it, it will be very much worth the risk and attempt. So that would be all, guys. Once again, I invite you to go ahead and check out the Divergence University. All these trades here are published for you to see how we traded, why we traded, and most of all, not just the numbers here, okay, but the screenshots. This is the most valuable part. Go back, you can see the whole performance history, it's right there. And of course, if you have any questions, drop us an email or contact the support on the website, and they will be happy to assist you. Thank you for watching.